Welcome to Blended Philosophy. The topic for this episode is time. The primary question is how should we segment the day? Not to be confused with what should we segment the day. The example I've got here, categorically, wake up time and then breakfast time and then outside time and then work time. It's not like a state mandated you have to have breakfast right now.
Okay.
You go, oh man, we worked so long on that project. We worked all the way through wake up and breakfast. It was crazy. Like, metrically, I'm just going to borrow from what we have already. 10 seconds in a minute, 10 minutes in an hour, 10 hours in a day.
Okay.
Or you could go 10 seconds in a minute, 100 minutes in an hour, and 1,000 hours in a day.
It's a long day.
No, short hours.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Universally, I've got time zone versus centralized. So if we split up into time zones, that's great and all, because you don't, like, then you have a universal thing of like, oh, the sun rises about like 5 to 7, some, you know, somewhere in that range. So it's universal in that sense, because you have a lunch. Everyone has lunch around 12.
Yeah. Right.
The other way to make it universal is to actually make it universal, because at the moment we've got time zones, and we've got, you know, Perth and Hong Kong same time, right?
Yeah.
It's 7:15. But then, you know, I don't know how many,
24?
how far, but oh yeah, there's 24 of them, but I don't know how big the Earth is, so I don't know.
Oh.
But if you go that far west or that far east, you know, all of a sudden in Adelaide it's a different time.
Yeah.
But then if you take away time zones, then Earth has basically one time zone.
Yeah.
But, you know, what happens if we go to Mars or whatever, we could have more universal time zone and just, or not even have time zones and just go, okay, it's like,
Yeah, how do you do the time?
actually I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, you just have to base it off one planet.
But when no, you can do it scientifically actually.
It's still scientific to do it off a planet, but
You know, yeah, true. But it's the vibration of a cesium atom, which I don't even know what that is, but
Right.
I'm assuming the amount of time it takes to vibrate. If you picture it as like a seesaw, the amount of time it takes to go down and back up again, or to that side, I don't know. So another possible method I've got here is scientifically, which I don't even know what that means. I tried to, like, I struggled to, like, before I found the example of like, oh, the second was a cesium atom vibrating or whatever. I still don't know what a second is. It didn't say it in that video, you know what I mean? It was like,
Oh, right.
well, and then we changed it to the cesium atom. Well, how long it takes to do what exactly?
how precise would that be? Is that just, like, the cesium atom must be really close to a second. But is it...
That's my
It can't
thing.
be exactly the same. If you're being scientific, they must be out by like a tiny bit.
That's my point. It like to like update that to the cesium atom. They must have gone like, oh, which atom is closest to a second. It messes with my mind, man. I don't know.
Maybe they've got to find out an exact kind of vibration. They've got to put a bunch of parameters in. Being like, it's got to vibrate this distance and it goes back up and down. You know, and they play with stuff to get it to that exact 1 second.
I also don't really know why or how you would measure that, because like, I don't even know what a cesium atom is. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're rare and like microscopic and like.
Yeah. And
Can you put one in a stopwatch? Or
Nah.
Or did they have a second already planned out, and they're like, oh, we need to find something that vibrates at this speed, and then get a stopwatch that we've calibrated to the previous second, what a second already is,
Yeah.
and to time that, I didn't like. They can't have changed it. You know what I mean? Like it's the because this technology is already based on that second.
Yeah.
So how could you possibly whatever?
Random thing someone came up with, and now you're retconned it.
Another method would be decrementically. So there's a bunch of like referendums.
I mean, I'd probably rule out categorically because
Okay.
people have very different days. I don't think that works. If you know what I mean. Some people don't have breakfast.
No, yeah, valid point. Okay, not categorically.
Oh, I mean, you just wrote them all down, so it's understood.
Okay.
So I was like, I wasn't, you know.
Do you want to do it metrically?
Metrically?
Are you
What's metrically?
10, 10, 10? Or we can do 10, 100,000?
I'm all for the metric system, but not when segmenting the day.
Really?
Yeah, no, I think
Are you sure you're not just conditioned to...
that's true. I probably am. I probably wouldn't mind the metric system actually. You won me over. What would it be?
Here's why I think metric could work.
Okay.
Is if you have 10 hours in a day. Now, making the hours longer than we're used to. But if I think of a day, if I'm just like caveman brain, what even is a day? You have the sunrise, and then morning, noon, okay, I guess afternoon, it's not very creative, but afternoon, and then sunset, and then then the moon comes up for night time.
Yeah.
It's 5 times 2, that's 10. So I think it actually,
I'm kind of
it
sold.
could work.
Yeah. I just occurred to me. So right now, because if we say that you don't really segment the day in seconds, because that doesn't actually really come into it.
Yeah.
So we have 60 minutes and we have 24 hours. That works out around 1,300 minutes. It'd be
Right.
no 14. There's like 1,440 minutes or something in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good job.
So we have that many. I kind of remembered that as well. But
Right.
so if you have 1,440, you could.
Yeah.
1,000 is pretty close to that.
Oh, so yeah.
You know. So if we had 1,000 seconds in a minute, really long minute, but then we have 100 minutes in an hour, and then we have 10 hours in a day. That way we're still chunking the day up into blocks of 1,000. Whereas right now we do it in blocks of 1,440 effectively. So it's kind of it's not that far off what we do. It'd be a bit less, but you want to know.
I do.
Yeah. So I ate most of it. Yeah. So yeah, actually I wouldn't mind metric. You know, we just got to make seconds go slightly slower again.
Old minutes.
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
That is crazy. No, I think we're going to wrap things up. The problem is, this one's been on for longer. Should we segment the day metrically? I honestly have no problems with this. We're not doing it yet, but... Well, according to Pizza Stream, we should segment the day metrically. That's good. I'll write that in here, which will give us an extra 20 seconds for the end screen.
I thought you were still talking about the day.
Alright.
I was like, no.